In industrial operations, network operators already know that the best practice is to use industrial-grade switches at the field site in order to deliver consistent uptime. The industrial switches at the field site possess more rugged qualities, such as greater MTBF and compliance with strict industrial standards, in order to deliver robust and dependable field site operations for mission-critical systems. But what about the control center? Can commercial switches really deliver enough reliability, or is it time to extend industrial reliability to control rooms? To answer that question, let's look at how industrial and commercial switches compare side by side against a few key challenges. The difference will quickly become obvious. To prevent overheating, commercial switches usually depend on fan cooling for heat dissipation. This cooling fan is an additional moving part and must be regularly cleaned and still can easily malfunction, causing a network interruption in the control room. This problem is completely avoided when Moxa's industrial switches are deployed in the control room. Moxa's industrial-grade switches are completely fanless. Without a fan, there's one less potential point of failure, so Moxa's industrial switches are far more reliable. Even with fans, commercial switches have limited tolerance for extreme temperatures and are typically only capable of operating in a 0 to 40 degrees Celsius range. Moxa's industrial switches can operate in a wider temperature range, all the way from -40 to 75 degrees Celsius. This gives users the flexibility to install these rack mount switches in harsher operating conditions, such as the factory floor or in an unmanned location. Another major challenge is power surges. Any electrical surge over 1.5 kV can possibly damage commercial switches and break the network connection in the control room. Moxa's industrial switches support higher surge protection of up to 2 kV, so they can deliver reliable operations in control rooms. Resistance against surges allows Moxa's industrial switches to avoid surge damage and network interruptions. EMI and EMC poses a similar challenge to commercial switches, which typically have lower radiation immunity of only 3 volts. This is insufficient to resist interference from any heavy-duty electrical equipment that may be near the control room. In contrast, Moxa's industrial switches have all passed EMC and EMI verification testing with a radiation immunity of up to 10 volts. This is level 3 EMI-EMC immunity. With this level of resistance, the industrial switches can easily withstand the electrically noisy conditions of heavy industrial settings. When they face the challenge of network self-recovery, commercial switches typically support at best the RSTP protocol, which takes several seconds to detect and adapt to a change in the network topology. Moxa's industrial switches support turbo ring and turbo chain technology that enables 20 millisecond fast Ethernet recovery at a full load of 250 Ethernet switches, and also reduces the redundant network cabling cost. This difference in network recovery time translates into significant operational consequences. In mission-critical systems with highly precise and coordinated applications, even a 5-second network interruption can create serious disruptions. The ultimate challenge of any system is achieving profitability. On this metric, while the per-unit cost of commercial switches is lower, there are many vulnerabilities of commercial switches, and they all add up to create a high total cost of operations, from frequent downtime, maintenance issues, and replacement cost. In contrast, while Moxa's industrial switches are not directly equivalent to cheaper commercial switches on a per-unit cost basis, they do provide greater performance and reliability and possess fewer vulnerabilities. This translates to a far better total cost of ownership, as industrial switches perform more consistently, are easier to maintain, and do not need to be replaced as frequently. Moxa has 25 years of industrial experience, and Moxa's rack mount switches complete the edge-to-core industrial network that succeeds in mission-critical applications and achieves consistent uptime by extending industrial reliability to cover both the field sites and the control center for greater network continuity and profitability. Moxa's complete portfolio of industrial rack mount solutions includes everything from Layer 3 10 gigabit Ethernet and full gigabit rack mount switches to Layer 2 unmanaged rack mount switches. Visit moxa.com or contact us for more information.